The library that remembers every book you never wrote, and the final volume that writes you, my name is Clara Moreau. I'm 36 years old, and for as long as I can remember, I have wanted to be a writer. Not the kind who publishes one novel every 5 years and lives off grants and readings. The kind who fills notebooks faster than she can buy them, who dreams in chapters, who wakes up at 3 in the morning because a sentence won't let her sleep. I have always written. Bad poetry at 13, fan fiction at 16, half-finished novels at 22, short stories published in tiny magazines at 28. None of it ever felt like enough. There was always the next idea, the better version, the book I was sure would finally prove I belonged on shelves. I never published a novel. Not because I couldn't finish them. I'd finished dozens. I just never sent them out. Every manuscript felt like a child I wasn't ready to show the world. Too fragile, too personal, too close to the things I didn't want anyone to know about me. On the night of October 19th, 2026, I came home from a graveyard shift at the 24-hour bookstore, where I still worked, and found a package on my doormat. No label, no postage stamp, just brown paper tied with twine, and my name written in ink that looked almost wet. Inside was a single book, black cloth binding. No title on the spine, no author name. Only a small silver embossing on the front cover, a quill crossed with a key. I opened it. The first page was blank except for one line in elegant, old-fashioned type, Clara Moreau, Unwritten Works, Volume I. I turned the page, and there it was. My first novel. The one I wrote at 23 in a fever of 6 weeks, the story about a girl who could hear the thoughts of houses. I had titled it The Listening Walls. I had printed it once, hated the ending, and locked the only copy in a drawer. I hadn't looked at it in 13 years, but here it was, word for word. The typos I never fixed, sentences I rewrote 100 times. The chapter I cut because it felt too raw. All of it exactly as I had left it. I flipped through the pages in disbelief. The paper felt old, like it had been sitting on a shelf for decades. I kept turning. After The Listening Walls came another manuscript, the second novel I never sent out, then the third, then the short story collection I abandoned at 29, then the novella I wrote during lockdown, then the poetry cycle I burned, I thought, on a USB drive. Page after page, book after book, every abandoned, unfinished, rejected, hidden thing I had ever written was here. In perfect order, chronological, as though someone had been keeping them safe all these years. At the very end was a blank section, no title, just the header. Clara Moreau, Unwritten Works Volume, infinity below it. One line, the last book is yours to finish. Close the volume. My hands were shaking. I looked around the apartment as though someone might be watching. Nothing. Just the hum of the fridge. The distant siren outside, the ordinary night. I opened the book again. The blank pages were no longer blank. New text had appeared, my handwriting, but I hadn't written it. First sentence read, "She never told anyone about the library." I stared at the words. They were mine. The curve of the letters, the way I pressed too hard on the period. The little loop I still make on the tail of the Y, even though I tried to train myself out of it. But I had not written them. Not tonight, not ever. I turned the page. More sentences. A paragraph. A scene. Sitting at this exact table, opening this exact book. The scene continued. I read it, and as I read, I realized I was living it. The lamp flickered the way it always does when the bulb is dying. The neighbor upstairs walked across the floorboards in the same rhythm. The coffee in my cup had gone cold at the same temperature. Everything was the same, except the book. The book was writing me. I slammed it shut. The room went quiet. Too quiet. No fridge hum, no distant traffic, just my breathing. I opened the book again. The text had advanced. Another paragraph. I was reading about myself. The loop. I tried to stop reading. My eyes kept moving. The words kept appearing. Faster. I saw the next hour, me trying to burn the book. The flames refusing to catch, me trying to tear the pages. The paper healing itself, me running into the street. The street empty, no cars, no people, just the book in my hands. Still open, still writing. I saw it the next day, me sitting at the table again, still reading, still being read. I saw the next week, the next month, years, decades. Me growing older in these pages, me never leaving the apartment, me never speaking to another soul, me becoming the story. The final line appeared. It was not in my handwriting anymore. It was in someone else's, elegant, patient, final, and it read, "The library is complete when the reader becomes the book." I closed the cover. This time it stayed closed. I placed the book on the shelf. I turned off the light. I went to bed. But every night since then, when the clock hits 3:33 a.m., I hear it. Soft turning of pages. From the shelf. From inside the book. From inside me. I don't open it again. I don't need to. I already know how it ends, because I'm still in it. Writing myself, it's being written. Forever. The library keeps every book you never finished. Every story you abandoned. Every sentence you were too afraid to send into the world. And one day it will come for you. Not with a knock, not with a package, with silence. The sound of your own handwriting filling empty pages. With the realization that you have always been reading yourself, and the book has always been writing you back. Check your shelves. Look for the black volume. No title, no author, just your name on the words, "Unwritten Works Volume, Infinity, it is waiting, patient, open." For the moment you decide to finish the story, or for the moment the story finishes you.